That's what we're starting with this morning, and we'll go over to Makwe in Abuja.
Well, thank you, Chamberlain. I have with me in the studio Honorable Orker, who is Chairman, House Committee on Rules and Business. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thanks for having me.
What is your take? I know that this situation in Zaki Biam must have met you with some shock, because we hear that these people came in broad daylight and shooting sporadically into the air. But what was your immediate reaction? Who do you think could be responsible for this?
Well, only last Tuesday of last week, I brought a motion on the floor of the House about killings in Buruku, where 20 persons were killed. We are inconsolable as far as the people of Benue are concerned, because you don't know what will happen next. In the past few years, we've been subjected to all kinds of terror attacks. And so, I mean, it's befuddling. I really do not know what is going on.
You brought a motion on the floor of the House of Representatives. What specifically was your motion asking?
Yeah, last week, from Friday of the other week, herdsmen came into Buruku, my constituency, and started attacking, killed people, and literally took over a third of the constituency. And over 20 persons were killed, and several others unaccounted for. So that prompted the motion that I brought on the floor of the House, asking the federal authorities to send relief materials to, like I said, presidential task force to be set to disarm those people, because they carry arms, and nothing seems to happen, because this is like a broken record. Every year it happens, we bring a motion on the floor, and it continues. It continues again. And so we wanted this time because first and foremost, those people simply have to be disarmed. Those herdsmen that go around with AK-47 and other dangerous things. So that was the crux of the motion. So then this happened. This Zaki Biam killings came. So truly, everybody is confused as to because you don't know what will happen. Zaki Biam is the biggest market anywhere for yams. Every market day you have hundreds and hundreds of trailers leaving the market with yams, and then you go in there and start. The people will be traumatized. I can imagine what will happen the next market day. People will be afraid to go to the market. Benue State is said to be food basket of the nation, and when you have a situation where at the onset of every planting season, this attack has come, and make sure that they destabilize. I'm beginning to agree to those people who are saying there's an agenda to make sure that we don't empower ourselves. Now that the federal government is beginning to look in the direction of agriculture as an alternative source of income for Nigeria, the Benue that is supposed to be the food basket of the nation is not allowed to settle down and go to the farms. It's really saddening.
It's really disturbing, the dimension that this, this crisis is taken. First of all, we saw what happened in Agatu, the killings that went on there. A number of people were killed. Initially, they thought it was, in fact, put it down to farmers and herdsmen crisis. In Bukuru, only recently, which was the latest one before the Zaki Biam, we saw the governor visit the place and told the Fulani men who were residents there to leave the place, because according to him there was only so much that he could do to restrain the people there from carrying out reprisals. But from what we hear in Zaki Biam, we understand that these people came on motorcycles and came in Toyota Corollas in broad daylight and were firing into the air. He believes that perhaps one of the wanted criminals in the state, he was once forgiven, a militant, Tekwase, I think that's his name.
Yeah, Ghana.
Could be responsible for this. Do you share his views?
Well, it's all very confusing. And I refer back to what the police spokesman was saying. If the police could come on air and appear not to know exactly what is going on. But from what we read, from what I'm reading, they even gave notice that they were coming to attack. And so the police positioned their men at strategic places, at banks, at schools, and so. But somehow, from 8 o'clock in the morning of that day, the police positioned their men at strategic places. But somehow, they were outwitted. I don't know what happened. Or maybe because these people are said to be numbering over 30, from what I read. They were over 30 and came in several vehicles. So whatever one could say now, I think could be guesswork. It could either be Ghana. It could either be nobody knows really until the police get to. Well, good enough. I hear the president is saying, you know, those people the security should keep an eye on what is happening there and actually track down those who have done this. I hope they really do the work because it's all very well to say the president is upset and has said it because we have heard this before. As far as the people of Benue, anytime there are such killings, we hear that the presidency has condemned it and all of that, but it happens all over again. So until that happens, I'm not convinced that those people, will get to know who exactly did this. For now, I think whatever, even the governor himself may not exactly know until the security get to work and come up with the perpetrators of this act.
You've answered the next question, because I was going to ask you, whether or not you were confident that now that the president had spoken on the matter, you think that would bring some solutions. But internally, I mean, for the people of Benue State, what solutions do you think that they themselves can proffer? It's a little complex, but some people would think that there perhaps could be some history. If the people who came to attack already wrote a letter, what did they sign off on that letter? I mean, who did they say they were, and what did they say they wanted?
Well, this information is what I've been reading in the Bible. I really do not know the details of how the communication was made, actually. But let me answer the other question. Right from Governor Susuam, he made several attempts. I understand there were meetings that were held between his Nasarawa counterpart and his Taraba counterpart, to make sure that, because initially what used to happen was across the border attacks, they would attack and retreat back to surrounding states. So the governor then, now when Otom came as governor, the first thing he did was to disarm the bad elements in the society. If you bring in your guns, we'll give you amnesty. And from the pictures that one saw on TV and all of that, quite a decent amount of armaments were
recovered.
Yes. And so, and he also continued. He had several meetings with his Nasarawa state counterpart, his Taraba state counterpart, because those are the boundaries that we always have issues with. And he also had internally. He had meetings between the local leaders of the local farmers and the herdsmen, and they appeared. I mean, going by the results of those meetings, one thought at least a solution had been found. Only for those people to come last year and did what in Agatu, in Buruku, even Buruku was affected last year, in Gunmen, several other communities across Benue. If you go to a place in Kwande Komon, the herdsmen have literally taken over and chased those people away and harmed to the teeth. Sometimes I think that if the dynamic were flipped, that is, it is the farmers that are killing the herdsmen. Now the federal government would have taken adequate notice and come down hard on Benue communities. But the way it is, I do have a feeling, and I'm speaking on behalf of the people because we do communicate now. We have a feeling that if the dynamic were flipped now, the federal government would have taken more interest in what is happening and tried to put a stop to it. But as it is, nothing really seems to be happening. Well,
we did have a conversation with the governor of Benue State, and then he did tell us about, confirm that yes, more community had been taken over indeed, and we're not quite sure what is going on there. But we also asked, whether or not he believed that these herdsmen were coming from the outside. Is that a perspective that you also share as well? That these herdsmen could be coming from the
exactly. You see, like I said,
war-tested countries.
Yes, like I said, because the governor had brought the communities together, the local farmers and the herdsmen, and there appeared to be some peace for some time. Now, when these people came attacked, now we asked them, what exactly is going on? We're supposed to be living in peace. They said they will claim that they too don't know where these people are coming from.
That's the local Fulani people.
The local Fulani people will claim that they don't know where these people are coming from. But the fact of the matter is that those that come to attack don't even come with cattle. So who brings them? Who brings them? I mean, the fact of the matter is that most of these people are not even Nigerians. That is what even the local Fulanis will tell us, that they are not even Nigerians, which makes it worse. Because if you have people from other countries coming to attack people, deep in the hinterland of Nigeria and get away with it. I mean, truly it's a failure of governance because, like I always refer to Section 14, subsection 2B of the Constitution that says the primary responsibility of government is welfare and security. That is what government primarily is supposed to exist for. So if you have this kind of situation going on, I mean, it's called to question how effective government is.
But the governor thought that, militants could have been responsible. When people think of Benue State, militants don't come to their mind. Where did these militants come from and what exactly were they agitating for? Well, I'm afraid that I will have to take that question, or you give an answer to that question when we return from this break. Don't go away.